Hey there, Adam Brody, master designer of Zurich for women with other sizes than the typical sizes that you get in the stores. How do you feel today?
Um, First of all, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Um, motivated.
Very good,
Motivated.
very good. Sun is shining, we have a beautiful day outside, and let's get into this. Yeah,
Yes.
motivated, good. So, Alan, tell our viewers a bit more about why you do what you do.
A bit more. I kind of somehow in my life found my way into fashion when I was still very young.
Uh-huh.
Long story short, I have no idea how I landed in here, but I'm really happy doing this. I, through difficulties and through how the world is today, when I get to try and analyze why do I do what I do, because that's how I can make this place a bit better, a bit nicer. That's how I can use the tools that I naturally have and try to empower, to help. That's how I can bring my creativity into something that is realistic and useful. I think
Very
that's
nice.
why when I do get to the hard moments of asking, what the hell am I doing here? So this is the answer, because through creativity, I can make people bring people a better balance, sometimes even make them happy.
And you and I met about 3 years ago. I remember it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I got an invite to a workshop at your studio and shop. Your basically your store is also like your work studio, yeah, where you do your wonderful work. I was very fascinated with some of the things you taught us there, and so we kept in touch. And I kept coming back on an annual basis to upgrade my wardrobe, Adam Brody style. And yeah, because obviously, I'm not the like size 38 that I was when I was like 17 anymore. And needed to have some professional outfits in bigger sizes. So, what made you decide to focus on fashion for bigger women? Because I think you're only supporting women, right? It's
I
not gender
Everything is
neutral.
like at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is at the moment. Everything is on flow. I am very happy and very grateful that we have the possibility of having this flow and this development. This is part of how we got to meet, because at some stage we thought, okay, so we have a store, we have an atelier. How wonderful is that? But what can we do more? How can we make a next step? How can we satisfy the hunger of development, of doing more, being more, having more, giving more? And especially in the times of the pandemic, when we were all kind of squeezed, crushed, lost our energy, lost our freedom, we had a feeling that being is so difficult, and we had to find solutions. For us here, luckily, it was a very interesting time, because we had the time, the capacity, and a God-given drive to look for more, for other solutions that we don't know. And one of the solutions was not that revolutionary, but to have this workshop. And I'm very happy that, first of all, that we could refresh, that we could give, that we could bring some positive energy, light, call it as you want, in this very dark time then. And second, of course, that I got to know you. This is one of the nice things of being a fashion designer or fashion maker is that clothes are a product of creativity that actually get to live, they get to be the moment they are worn. A painting, a statue is it gets its reality by being seen. But fashion lives, fashion gets character, it gets life, it gets movement, it gets a, a few further dimensions because it is worn, because it belongs, because it is part of someone's life. And I think it also gives a kind of energy. I'm sorry, I kind of flew away. What was the question?
Well, I was asking a bit more about your motivation, and also, Adam, you're an entrepreneur, and some of my viewers are also expats, expat entrepreneurs. Many women, they start a business when they're abroad, especially if they're following a partner along to another country. And I don't know if you know this, but a lot of foreign women coming to Switzerland, they move here for love, not for the job, but for
I did
love.
too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did too.
I sort of did too, but I also had a job. So, I think I had a double reason to move, which is good because when the love ends, usually people then they stay for the job. So this is a statistic that I once researched for a talk. But what I wanted to know from you, Adam, is when, as an entrepreneur, you've been in this business for a long time. I remember that I passed by your store probably already when I was in Zurich the first time. But at that time, I still would wear normal sizes. So, what were some of the things that you learned along the journey that you can share with a woman, for example, who is about to start a business?
First of all, thinking from the garderobe side, I think clothes, no, naturally there's a kind of dressing code for each and every place we are or thing we do. Even season,
Yeah.
it gets another seasonal dimension. But generally, the idea is we wear a kind of shell that is partly uniform, partly it's a communication to wherever we are. Another part is our very, very own personality. So one part, as I said, is kind of suitable to the area, to the surrounding, is kind of a code, a social code. Another one is very, very personal. And then, of course, there's something that is very up to date, up to time now, a kind of a comfort, something that's very technical. I think this is what makes my brand very special, the way we cut, because we actually think of a mature body,
Yeah.
of a body form, of body need, of body movement. And that's what makes my brand very special. The next thing that will happen, you've been mentioning the sizes a few times. I uh, I don't like saying it that way, but it's actually very correct. I own a very rare know-how of cutting for plus sizes. In my experience, in my nature, I draw lines that are suitable for plus sizes, for curves, for an adult body. But what we have found a long time is that small sizes also need something, some of the small sizes also need something very similar. So I think what I can parallel here is in my way and to what do I recommend expats, business, career women is kind of find your way in yourself, in your energy, in your power, in your philosophy, also naturally in your garderobe, because this is how you feel it and this is how you reflect it. But always keep developing this way, always keep going on. I, for example, started my brand with plus sizes, very specific, very revolutionary at the time. But somehow I took we built on the slogan of style has nothing to do with size. And style has nothing to do with size is almost like the Mona Lisa. Whichever direction you look at it from, you have a feeling she's looking at you. And what we're trying to do today is to add we're not trying to, we're developing to add also smaller sizes to it, and then say we're talking really more about a style and a bit less about size definitions. We will serve the sizes, but they are not the main focus. So
Awesome.
that's like my word to development.
Very good, very good. And when you were initially inspired to, to do something specific and special, did you ever doubt yourself?
Yes, always.
Tell me how you overcame that self-doubt.
Always. I mean, it's a beautiful question. I think nobody ever asked this question. Gorgeous question.
Even the red couch,
Thank you. Yes, always. Always. I would so much like to say we, but I think we all do it. But on one hand, I'm so grateful for the freedom, for my freedom of mind, for the freedom I was raised up with, and for the possibilities around to go on. On the other hand, naturally, it's with a responsibility. So you always ask yourself, is this the right decision? Is it the right fabric? Is this the right color? Is it the right thing? Will people understand me? Will people want it? Will people buy it? Will I be able to pay my rent, to buy more fabrics and to keep on working? And these are all questions, these are all doubts. And naturally, the moment you walk out of the tread path, I think decency or just a minimum of cleverness is to ask, am I doing the right thing? And naturally, when you develop and you go and you forge and you ask questions which don't have given answers, there's no one or nothing that will say, this is the right thing, do that, which is sometimes very, very comforting, but we work with doubts. That's how we go on. That's how we develop, I think.
Absolutely right. And I'm convinced that you can only overcome self-doubt by just taking baby steps. And especially when it gets hard, especially when you don't have the income coming in that you were, aiming for, when you're not sure if you can pay the rent, when you're not sure if you can pay the next invoice, or, when that self-doubt creeps in. I really think the only way to overcome that is by just taking another step forward. And that's what I always tell my clients. It's like, we're talking about also, some mental health topics. This week yesterday was Mental Health Day. If you're in that space, it's just one step forward and then another step forward. And then you slowly develop the self-confidence. You learn step by step to go through those cycles. Because I think, as opposed to being employed, when you have your own business, you need to learn to deal with the cycles and the seasons and the ups and downs, and not having having a fluctuating income, basically. But it's just something to get used to. And once you're used to it, you get better and better, and you develop more and more streams. I mean, you bring in other artists into your studio, for example. Yeah, I saw last year you brought in like a jewelry designer. You work on the design fair that is coming up shortly. Yeah, but you want to talk a bit about what you have in store for us for the next season. And hello
Yes.
Graham. You
First
want
of
to
all,
put your
totally
face in
inspired
the
from what you said. What's kind of running through my head again and again and again is this sentence from Jonathan Livingstone from what if I fall?
Yeah.
And the answer is, but what if you fly?
Yeah, nice.
It's this seagull learning to having to make the first step in order to fly. And he looks down and said, but what if I fall? And he said, but what if you fly? And it's difficult because it's real, because I'm saying it with tears in my eyes because it is so real and it is so daily and it's so accurate for, I would like to say for today, but almost for every day. And every day you think, what if I fall? And every day you urge to fly. So part of our flying in the future, in the coming few weeks, we have like crazy hula hoop flies. We're kind of all over the place. Um, uh, I need to kind of look at my calendar. No, I won't. Um, we have guest designers coming here into the store.
Uh-huh.
We have a pop-up for 2 long weeks of two beautiful. I'm looking forward for 2 beautiful weeks of a two ladies producing what they call 1,001 wishes,
Uh-huh.
um, baby wear from made of baby alpaca.
Uh-huh.
I have
Wow.
Ghislaine coming in with vintage jewelry, with vintage costume jewelry, which is a fascinating field of its own. There is the In and Out Fair in Aarau, which is a beautiful designer fair, yearly, end of the month now, end of October, exhibiting, I think, 80 or 90 designers in the fields of fashion, jewelry, accessories, furniture, and I think ceramics and more. A And in the end of, no, in the beginning of December, there's the Design Schenken in Luzern. Again, 80 curated designers in multiple fields. These are two fairs that I love going to because they're relatively small and because they're very, very finely curated and because they have a beautiful mood. There's a beautiful feeling there of very creative, very open community, um, including the customers. People who come there are like just beautiful, beautiful people. So these are like two events coming up. Otherwise, um, archive sale.
Yeah, what is that? I saw that.
Archive
What is it?
sale is bringing out prototypes, new old time new developments, things that we developed and never actually went into. It's kind of picking the raisins from the last 15 years that I couldn't give out before, but now I'm ready. And a few pieces also from various seasons that have kind of that are relevant now. And we will be selling also decorations and fabrics and ideas. The idea is on one hand, I am planning the next step, and the next step for the Adam Brody brand is to move out of this store. Yes, yes,
Where are
yes,
you
yes,
moving to?
yes.
Do you
It
know
is
already?
kind of revolutionary, and I don't know when you're going to open this talk, but it's one of the first times I'm saying that loud. It is a plan, and it also has to do with what if I fall, what if I fly. I am not very sure about what the next step is, but there is a next step. I'm not going to disappear. And on the way to this next step, a part of Adam Brody is going to change, and the part that belongs to the ex Adam Brody, the before philosophy, is is happily and lovingly and going to the next hands. So that's the archive sale. But all these pieces and all these things and all these events and all these fairs are very, very selected. Nothing is dumping. We have nothing to dump. We have nothing to get rid of or to just pass. These are all steps that I'm very, very much looking forward to. Probably there'll be even more. We are planning in between, like as if we had no weekends until the end of the year. We are even planning to host here one weekend, which will be like a crazy bouquet of guest designers
Nice.
in the store only for a Friday, Saturday. So for one weekend. And here I kind of have to draw my attention a second to the side because this I really cannot manage. It is okay. So let's get to the point. 10th of October to the 10th of November. That's since yesterday, a month of archive sales of items, products, clothing, ideas, talks, coffees. Everything is all in. Come in, see me. Let's kind of have a party.
And you know, I can tell you're always a wonderful host, Adam. So when you know when somebody wants to come to your shop, for example, tomorrow or on the weekend, you always, you know, you take time. So you could really consult the person who's looking for also support, especially, you know, what I really value also is, you know, like support around having a travel safe wardrobe, which, you know, for my clients could be a topic because we also often were traveling quite a lot. Having a wardrobe for special occasions, like, you know, when you're on stage, when you got to show yourself to the world, when you have an important board meeting or something like that. And we're going to put all of your events in the show notes. So please make sure that we get them so that, you know, people can also sign up to your newsletter,
Perfect. That
sign
would be
up to your
great.
Instagram account. And that leads me to my final question already, because we have to make sure that everybody's
That we stay in the
knowing,
frame, that we don't fall off the
yeah,
sofa.
and know that everybody knows where to find you. But I think you're more on Instagram than me because I'm more of a LinkedIn person. What is your favorite social media and why?
Welcome to the Pandora box. I am newly active in the social media. I have,
Nobody
I
can
think it's,
tell.
I think it's magical. I think there's a lot happening there, but I would almost cut this question into two because
Uh-huh.
my favorite is when people walk in here.
Yeah,
My
that's
favorite
that
is to
cannot be
see
replaced.
who the person is, what the personality, what they can need, what they can have, what I can help in clothing, in know-how about clothing, in how to use this clothing, how to get these clothing to support, to help, to answer your needs. I think, especially for sure today in this era, and for more especially here in the content of our brand of what we do best. I have difficulty defining my customers as customers because the moment they walk in, they're like friends or guests, and we it took a moment until we found the way we want to write our newsletters under a Adam Brody brand family is more like a family. And I think we have a know-how that is much, much more than just clothes. And this is what we give. And naturally, it's the best is to give it in live to the
Absolutely.
person. And otherwise, at the moment, we are most active on Instagram. Yes. We are working on getting our way into LinkedIn. And I think these platforms are on one hand very important, on the other hand extremely confusing because what do you do when you need to check 7 platforms? I mean, for me, in my drive, in my nature, if I need to deal with 7 platforms, I go and have a coffee. Yeah.
I'm happy
So generally,
to share
most
some
active,
tips
you
when
can
I come
find us
next
on.
time.
Sorry.
So I said I'm happy to share some social media tips when I come next time.
Yes, of course. Generally, I was saying you can at most active, the fullest is the Instagram.
Yeah,
The most real is to walk in.
yeah, yeah, I can confirm. And you know what's even funnier? Like, I mean, it's not even funny, but it's like, I've never experienced that before somewhere. Like, you know, you think you go clothes shopping and then you have a conversation randomly with somebody who's also at your store and it gets very personal, very short, very fast. So I really
Yeah,
like
it's kind
that.
of
I really
secrets
like
of the
that.
garderobe. It's what
Yeah.
happens probably when you kind of have your clothes off.
But you know, also because I feel like, and I had this chat on Sunday with a lady at the film festival. When you're in Zurich and when you're not a Swiss person and you haven't had your friends here since kindergarten, sometimes it's really hard to just go somewhere and chat with a person. It's not very usual here. It's not so easy to get in touch with like with new people. So especially in the beginning, you know, when you're an expat and you're new in Zurich, it's not so easy to make friends, I think. Yes, you can
So
make some friends in the expat bubble, but it's really nice if you then come to a place where you just make like you feel welcome and yeah, you can just talk to everybody easily.
So my instinctive answer to this, or for as far as I can help, and as long as we are still here, you will have the details. Follow us, be with us, see what's happening. And otherwise, as long as we're here in Stockerstrasse, every Friday afternoon, we have Friday drinks. Friday drinks is not a marketing tool, although we are a store and we will be very, very, very happy and we need to sell, but it's not a marketing event. It is a meeting event. It's something that cooked out of the team using gently and enjoying the last hour of the week, talking, drinking, bringing everything on the table that normally doesn't appear. And we open it to our customers, to our friends, to the public. Come in, have a free drink, sit down, open as much as you want from your know-how, from your interests, from your heart. And let's be friends for as deep as it goes or for as long as it lasts. And get some contacts or ideas or food for the brain. Take it home for the weekend, take it home forever. For as much as I can offer for a few minutes, feel at home.
Thanks a lot. That's what, I love it. I love it, Adam. Thanks a lot for taking the time for the interview, and I look forward to hearing all that it's coming up, and I look forward to coming by the Friday drinks again very shortly.
Yay, every Friday around more or less 5 o'clock in the after 5:30, something like this.
Amazing.
And really at comfort and at ease, and it is not a marketing tool. It's not that you walk in and you have to barter shopping against a glass of champagne.
Yeah.
Give me a smile. It's half of what I need.
Sometimes, you know, you might find something though that you really like, and then, you know, it's okay to buy it.
Even better.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Adam,
Thank you
and we'll speak
too.
again soon.
Always, always.
Bye. Ciao.